There is no comparison between Brady and Rodgers. Let's get past that. Tom has blown way past him. And let me give you an example here. And this is not a criticism of Aaron, because who I'm going to compare him to is great as well. For a long time, the first 7 or 8 years of LeBron James' career, he was compared to Carmelo Anthony. And those were fair comparisons. They were both all-stars. They were both great. They were both scoring a bunch. And they were both growing. But by about year 9, 8, 9, the comparisons no longer held true. That's not to say that Rodgers doesn't have a better arm than Brady, and Carmelo's not a more natural scorer than LeBron all time. He is. But after about year 8, it's like it's so lopsided, stop comparing Carmelo to LeBron. First 8 years, you had arguments. Because remember, LeBron didn't win his title until year 8. LeBron was just an all-star. Carmelo was an all-star. In fact, Carmelo got his Denver Nuggets to the Western Conference Final, and LeBron had got his team to the Eastern Conference Final. It was a fair comparison. And then it started getting like lopsided, and nobody compares Melo and LeBron anymore. Here's who you should compare Aaron Rodgers to. Big Ben. Big Ben and Aaron Rodgers are very, very comparable. Let's talk head coach. Okay, Mike Tomlin, Mike McCarthy. They both have a good head coach. Neither one of those coaches is Bill Belichick, Vince Lombardi, Bill Walsh. They're both very good coaches, though not considered the best coach in the game. Both franchises are blue bloods, Packers, Steelers. They both went to non-traditional college football programs. Cal, in fact, junior college Cal for Aaron, Miami of Ohio for Big Ben. Neither was taken number 1 in their draft class at their position. In fact, both have used that as a chip on the shoulder. Aaron fell in the draft, and Big Ben was the 3rd quarterback taken in his draft. Both are very, very outspoken against their very popular franchise. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has taken not even thinly veiled shots at the Packers bosses. And Ben has taken multiple shots at the Steelers and Mike Tomlin. Both have had really, really, really nice weapons, both better than Brady. Ben's had Plaxico and Hines Ward, Santonio Holmes, Aaron Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster. Aaron, that's Big Ben. Aaron's had Donald Driver, Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, Devontae Adams. Those are really above-average wide receivers. Both generally have good offensive lines. In fact, if you look at their playoff histories, it's very similar. Aaron Rodgers' playoff losses. He's lost to some really good quarterbacks. He lost to Russell Wilson's going to be a Hall of Famer. Carson Palmer may be a Hall of Famer. And Matt Ryan's very good. But he's also got some stinkers. Aaron Rodgers lost as a huge favorite to Eli Manning. He lost to Colin Kaepernick twice. And he lost to an old Kurt Warner. Big Ben the same. He's got some playoff losses, 2 times to Brady and to Peyton Manning. But Big Ben's also got some stinkers in the playoffs. He lost to Tebow, David Garrard, Blake Bortles. Ben and Rodgers are both elusive and scramblers and ad-libbers. That creates all-time highlights. And it creates improvisation, which can drive teammates and coaches crazy, and bad interceptions, and plays out of the pocket where you get hurt. In fact, both are always playing at about 90% health. Aaron's increasingly banged up. Big Ben last 3 years increasingly banged up. You giving me these Rodgers-Brady comparisons. Stop it. It's like Melo and LeBron. It worked for about 7 years. And then by 8, 9, 10, 11, there's no comparison. They're both Hall of Famers. That's very appropriate, very accurate. It shows Aaron Rodgers' intelligence, understanding, self-awareness. This is not a bash Aaron Rodgers segment. But LeBron and Melo only worked for about 7, 8 years. Then it got silly. Rodgers-Brady now has moved into silly territory. Rodgers is Big Ben. From the franchise to the coach to the style to the outspokenness, to the banged up, to the ad-libbing, to the playoff failures. They're right aligned with each other. And they are 2 of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen. But they're not close to the greatest quarterback I've ever seen, and that's Tom Brady.